All right, everyone. I want to make you a little video about an incident that happens on location called adiabatic heating. A guy named Bryson Lacoste reached out to me and said, Russell, do you have any information or a video or something that describes or explains adiabatic heating? And I said, I ain't got nothing. And he's like, well, could you get me something? And I looked around and really truly didn't find a whole bunch. So I said, you know what, I'll put something together for you and we'll just make it for the public. So here we are. So we're going to talk about this thing called adiabatic heating. If you've ever heard about line melting on location while pressure testing, that's what we're talking about. And what it is when the frac pumps pressure test, they bring in fluid and pressure tests on location, the air can't escape at the top and it ends up compressing. And it compresses so much that it gets super hot, up to 1200 degrees. And our line is sitting there because we're bumped up and it'll just melt it, okay? Now, this used to not be a big issue until frac showed up. Frac pump so fast that, I mean, it's just an instant ramp of fluid. While before we used to wait 15 minutes to get pressure tested because we had this little old pump and a little 3/4 inch hose pumping fluid in our lubricant, and it took forever, okay? But when the frac showed up with these pump downs, that's when our issue started. Now, I want to demonstrate exactly what we're talking about. I got a little fire stick here, and there's a little piece of cotton in here. What I'm going to do is plunge down on it, and you're going to see this thing make a flame. Hopefully, if everything works right. Okay, here we go. All right. So you saw the flame. Visualize this thing being up when the air comes in. It compresses, mashes the air gets hot. Air compressors, them hoses get hot because it's compressed air. It works backwards. You're going from low pressure to high pressure. If you're going from high pressure to low pressure, it cools off. That's how we get hydrates and ice forming on our wells. You can take a can of compressed air, start blowing it. It's relieving, it's releasing pressure, and the can gets cold. So just kind of understand how that works. Okay, now the damage it can do to our line is it can actually cut it in half. It could also just get it really hot where it doesn't cut it, but it burns it, and it'll burn our insulator on the inside. And when we get down to 200 feet, when we get our key, it's shorted. So just understand, there's a couple of ways this happens, but it may burn it and you don't realize it until a week later. So, you know, situations like that. I got a couple of pictures here that you can see, kind of understanding how these things, what it can cause on the line, the burning, stuff like that. Now the question is how to stop it. Now it's an easy fix. If you're a pressure control guy, just don't pump your grease until they get fluid in the well, and you'll see fluid coming out the top. Another way is to use a vent sub. They got a vent sub you can look up. It allows the air to escape, but we have issues with vent subs. But these are ways to correct it. All right. Now the first time I saw this, I didn't believe it. Honestly, I said, yeah, y'all are full of crap. It ain't gonna burn it until it happened on location, and it melts the line. Tool falls, lands on the tool trap. We end up pulling the line out. I'm thinking the guy didn't rehead, forgot the washer or something stupid. But there it was. We took the over the line way bar off, and there was a piece of cable still stuck to the cable head. So, seen it? It happens. Now, I heard a story about a guy using diesel. We always used to wipe diesel on our steel line. I don't know if they did on the greaseless line. But we would wipe the line, keeping it clean with diesel. Well, diesel would collect right there where it comes into that grease head. And the same thing, we believe, when the air compressed, it actually compressed the diesel that was there, that ignited the diesel, and it made it boom. And I'm sure when it boomed, that kind of forced the tool down. But he said they heard a boom when this event happened. So that might be something to consider. A lot of guys don't wipe their line with diesel no more because of that situation. But anyway, I think that's about it. Like I said, this was not a thing that happened very often until frac showed up, and they can pressure test us a lot faster. So anyway, all right, put in the comments what you think. If you've had this happen to you, write what happened. We love to hear your story. Like and subscribe if you like this little video, because we're going to have more coming. We'll talk to y'all later.